The big story today, the massive crackdown on the Popular Front of India. Across more than a dozen states, there have been raids in which over 100 PFI activists, including its chairman, its national president, national secretary, all of them have been arrested. In fact, 18 of the main office bearers have been brought to Delhi. They were produced in a local court in Delhi, and now they have been remanded to 4 days NIA custody. For an organization that has allegedly been involved in all sorts of nefarious activities, from terror funding, terror training camps, and radicalizing young people, this is the biggest ever crackdown seen in the last 20 years. Is the government, the central government, now building a further case for a nationwide ban on the PFI? But first, the story of an unprecedented raid, how it was organized, how it was planned, and how it was executed in the dead of the night.
A midnight raid turned into the biggest crackdown on Popular Front of India. A multi-agency operation was led by the National Investigation Agency. The raids were carried out in 13 states. More than 100 locations were searched by the agencies. And over 100 top PFI leaders and functionaries have been arrested.
You can see these officers over here. You can see that those materials, those are the materials which have been seized. The other teams over here, there are many electronic gadgets, printers, laptops, which have been seized from these premises.
The raids were conducted on suspicions of PFI's involvement in organizing terror camps and encouraging youth to participate in terror activities.
This is Chandrayan Gutta, and this is where the PFI's main office is located, sealed and locked. And along with it, there's a notice here which has been pasted. PFI activist by the name Abdul Qadir was picked up by the National Investigation Agency for giving terror training to more than 200 people.
But in some states, PFI members held protest against the arrest.
Slogans that are being raised from the PFI supporters here, they are raising continuously slogans saying there's nothing, no documents that these officials would have found. This is an unnecessarily raid that has been conducted.
From an alleged role in violence in Uttar Pradesh during the anti-CAA protests in 2020 to the alleged links to terrorism, PFI has been under the government scanner for a while now. In fact, the NIA has termed the outfit as a threat to the national security. But after today's crackdown, will the clamour to ban PFI only grow louder?
We've got a big exclusive news break here on Viewpoint on this particular story. The CNN News 18 has now tracked the front organizations and the NGOs that are funding the PFI. There are, we're given to believe, at least 15 frontal organizations, including the Campus Front of India, the SDPI, which is the political wing, the National Women's Front of India. These various front organizations handle the ideology and other public affairs of the PFI. They are also reportedly being funded by several NGOs, all of whom are right now under the scanner of central agencies. So let me go across to Ashish Mehrishi, who's tracking the story for us and has been tracking the raids since early this morning. It is almost like this is a corporate conglomerate, as it were. They have a women's wing, a campus wing, almost like a political party, if you will, Ashish, the way it has spread its tentacles and the way the PFI has been organized.
Certainly, Zaka, and it's actually worrying for the government of India. Reason being that there are at least 15 organizations which are basically linked, or you can say they're working under PFI. And Zaka, you know, it's a proper structure through which this entire organization is working. You know, if we're talking about Campus Front of India, we all know. We're talking about National Women Front of India. There is All India Imam Council Religious Wing, Darul Qarda, Junior Friends of India Kids Wing. So they're targeting the kids as well. well, Muslim Relief Network charity outfit, Satya Sarani, SDPI, we all know about it, Women India Movement. So there are, and the list goes on. So it's certainly a structure basically which is well thought over. Most interesting, Zaka, is that there are certain NGOs which are basically giving, which are giving funds to this, and these NGOs are basically getting funds from India as well as from abroad. And these organizations are Shamsul Ulema Arabic College Thodar, Shamsul Ulema Islamic Education Trust Thodar, then Sadhab Wakil Zirikwal Zali Majlis Trust, and there are so many, there are other organizations as well which are giving funds to the PFI. But most interesting aspect, Zaka, is that this money is basically coming from all the Gulf countries that we are talking about. If you see the charge sheet of the ED, it's an eye opener, because this money is basically coming from various countries. It includes UAE, Oman, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and these countries have got small organizations. They have district executive committees as well, where money is collected in cash and then it is further brought into India through Hawala channels. There are even there are remittances that have come to India which are shown as genuine transactions, but when the ED investigated, they found that this was basically, it was camouflaged as a genuine transaction, but ultimately the money was brought into the PFI accounts for nefarious activities and anti-social and anti-national activities in India. So ED has made massive effort. Their charge sheet, if you go through that, it gives details, various examples on how terrorists who have been arrested by anti-terrorist squad of Uttar Pradesh, they basically found out one of the terrorists, Kaleem Pasha, and he was caught with live cartridges and an IED. He was getting money on a regular basis from PFI account. So the Enforcement Directorate and the NIA in totality have made lots and lots of effort to find out from where this funding is coming, how this well-structured organization is basically working against the government, and especially creating situations where unrest in India can be done. So these efforts were being done by PFI, and that is why this big clampdown has been done today.
All right, Ashish, we'll leave it at that. Many thanks.